steal from different classes. I see some of them just for them to be able to afford something and go and gamble. For them to be able to get the money and go and gamble.
It is a public health crisis. It's already a crisis. It's a big problem that we're not talking about. It's a big, very big problem.
My wife dey get issue with my family with that because my wife no know say I dey pay gamble. But we happen in the time. E get wetin dey like this now, present wetin I dey feel wey be say my wife don leave me.
Oftentimes, people who develop problems, they are seen as useless people because addiction will make them use money that is meant for what they are supposed to use to enhance their various aspects of their lives. Addiction will make them stake away that money.
Gambling, the game of the bold and the cursed, where some taste champagne and others thirst. The thrill, the rush, the heart's parade of riches won and trust betrayed. From smoke-filled halls to shining apps, the stakes are high on digital maps. A kingdom built on chance and charm that heals one's soul, yet breaks an arm.
I been running these bets, no be today. So na things wey be say some dey lose and some dey gain and some, but I thank God sometimes e get wetin I dey gain and e get wetin I dey lose. So if not, don call issue wey be say me and my family don get issue, but still on still, person wey lose today fit get tomorrow. But wetin I believe that say I dey play gamble is all of the savings. Don't be like say I dey save, because one day if I go pack am, I can only the first bet that the highest money wey I don make, I start from like 9,000, but the day I make a surprise that no happen to my life, I made 220. That's the day when my family was happy, but they didn't remember that time. But I can only remember that I dey bring money to I dey play color and I dey play virtual and I dey still dey play better, especially paper this thing, short, booking. I play, in fact I play whatever the sporting, but anything bet like color, sporting, booking and whatever, that one go far. In a day, at least 10, 15, 20, because I used to work. So when I work, I can make 5,000 today. I'll go play bet, my daddy will finish it. Okay. Tomorrow, I can win 20, they collect them. Wetin be say the problem of this gamble is that any day where I believe say I wan go make money, I wan go, maybe this money go make me see money, I no dey see money. Na when I no even expect, I no even the right time I dey get something. I fit get 10,000 naira like this, say let me go use am make maybe go become 20, 30, 40. I no dey win. But the day wey I no even through my say I see my people for play me this, achieve something. Achieve something. That is my problem.
Here walks the hopeful, the desperate, the sly, eyes on the jackpot, hearts racing high. But behind the curtain, debts quietly swell, and silence often hides a private hell.
Gambling addiction is actually worse than other substance addiction. I believe it's worse than drug and alcohol addiction because we've seen that even in terms of suicide rates, we've seen that the individuals with problematic gambling have a 15 times higher risk of committing suicide than the average population. And you find that for every 1 in 3 gamblers are considered committed suicide at some point, and 1 in 5 have also attempted suicide. So it is a very big problem. We also see that it's a condition that is often overlooked or under-recognized, and you find that a lot of people that struggle with problematic gambling go on for many years, and it devastates their lives, affects their relationships, makes them go bankrupt, and causes a lot of damage because we're not really aware of the gravity of this disorder and the damage that it can cause to an individual, their family, and even the society at large.
I've been playing this bet since 1960 bet. I love Sha so many times. I used to play it because my people teach me how to play it. That time I was struggling how to make money. I was see people who used to play it. I said, okay, let me just involve myself on this game. A lot of time I used to use my last money and play it. I no chop. And so many times I play this game gone, they favor me sometimes. But I can see some disadvantage of an advantage about this bet. Sometimes it might favor you and win. Sometimes it might favor you, you not win. What I can advise the youth guys in Nigeria now? This betting we are playing, sometimes we are just losing our money. It's better you to find something doing that you make your money, do a lot of things, help yourself, help your neighbor ones, use your money chop, help some people really around you. That's I can advise people. This bet don't make me don't go carry my mama money so I don't go play one day. As I come back out, she change am for me. She really change am for me, say, why go use my money go play bet? Which is, say this bet is not good. I say, mommy, I'm looking for money now. Go and find something doing if you want to make money. Or that's that doing something for money. I say, mommy, this bet, some people don't make more millions. Some people don't make 2 million. They say, me say, I just want to try my best. He say, oh boy, this thing cannot favor you. You just find something doing so that you make your money.
Short story, my experience about sport bets in general. So like, as a youth, avid football lovers or sport lovers, have one way or the other stake the bets, if it's virtual, football, or what have you. Well, I used to be a very, very, I was somewhat addicted to sport bets. It was quite addictive because I hear stories here and there. My friends, they perhaps were at the bar, were having a couple of drinks. Somebody just say, yes, that kind of excitement. I want to some amount. So from there, you'll be like, how are you doing this? How are you doing it? So I used to play sport bets. I wouldn't say I've won, but I've lost a couple of times. Like I had to cut back when I saw it was somewhat becoming very addictive, because if you do the calculations yourself, you find out, you figure out that the amount you staked, peradventure, the few times you've won, you've lost a lot than you actually won, except if you have grace or oil is on your head, the way they say it. So I'll share my little experience. I started sport bet at I think 2020 because I was a football fanatic. I used to support my team, Manchester United. So I was so sure that there's some games that they'll win. But where it became very, very addictive is when you have that drive to win big, and you want to stake very little. Maybe you want to stake. I started with I think 2,000 thereabout. When you win, the amount you'll be winning for staking little, and eventually when you win the game, you'll be like, oh damn, I should have actually staked higher so that my winning will be higher as well. So there's some games that seem sure, but football, anything can happen. You start to lose games and all of that. So I had to curb that addiction.
In terms of gambling, we see a lot of young people getting involved, and this is understandable because in adolescence, the frontal lobe is still in its developmental stage, and we see that young people will experiment and try out new things. They're more curious at that age. So it's understandable to see that they form a large demographic that is affected by this illness. And we see that within this demographic, we see a lot of males. So we have more male involvement than female.
Yeah, sure. I was a gamble addict. I was never a gamble addict, but I almost get into it. And what I actually want to share today is something that a lot of people might not consider themselves lucky. Truly, awareness shouldn't be based on luck. It should be based on awareness itself. So during my high school, I have a lot of friends who are into gambling. Though I do see them like they buy flashy things then. So and me, I couldn't afford anything then. I couldn't afford anything. So I was looking at them and we worked together. I was like, what do you guys do to like afford all these things that you guys are buying and using, like you guys are using? So they told me that okay, they are into gambling. They just go to bed Nigeria shop and they just double the money, just multiply the money as quick as possible, and you're able to afford things. And I said, I can do this thing now. And we're on the age. Then we're around, let's say 13, 14 maximum, 14 years maximum. We're very young. So why do I consider myself lucky? I don't have access to money then because my parents, they don't give me money, and they only provide the necessary things, maybe your food and things to school then. So I try all my possible best to be able to like even get at least, no matter how small the money, let me just multiply it. I even try borrowing from them, learning from them, and none of them choose to like, okay, yeah, take. So I give up. I try my best. It was the time I even thought of, should I go and even steal? Let me just find a way of just getting this money to be able to like at least feel among, because I really love the confidence they can afford anything they want. They don't have to be dependent. So those are the kind of things, ideas that come to me, like I'll be able to like stand on myself, I'll be able to do my thing myself, but I couldn't. So based on circumstance, I was unable to like get into it. So the thing is, the message I'm trying to pass to you is, a lot of people might not be as lucky as I am, because if I started, a lot of them are long run, some lost, some they became like, even in the way they behave and all that things, you'll have known that okay, yes, these people are actually going through this. Yes, because these are things that at a very young age, as that you will be very, you'll be agile. You are agile because you are very curious at that moment. If anything goes wrong, maybe okay, I don't have money to afford this. Some will steal, some will even steal in the same classes, in the same class that we are. They will steal from different classes. I see some of them just for them to be able to afford something and go and gamble, just for them to be able to get the money and go and gamble. So the thing is, our world today will depend on the future, and we young ones have the future. So if the future is destabilized, definitely tomorrow is not guaranteed. So we just have to keep up with the awareness. Like I earlier said, awareness shouldn't be based on luck. Just like my own story. Yeah, if I had access to money at that moment, I don't know what I would have been now. What will have been for me now? Because truly, I'm someone that whenever I put my mind into something, I want to see it to the depth. And if I started something like that, which I know is very bad, at a very young age like that, it's very easy to get addicted to it.
It is a public health crisis. It's already a crisis. It's a big problem that we're not talking about. It's a very big problem. At every point in time, we say about 1% of the population is affected. And in a developing country like Nigeria, we find that even that 1% of the population is not being catered to. We've also seen a big rise in gambling as a habit or as a disorder since the advent of smartphones in developing countries. So since the advent of smartphones, we've seen that the industry has grown in revenue into a trillion dollar industry, and this has been fueled by the use of smartphones and Android phones and even other smart devices. So at the click of a button, you can now engage in gambling. You don't have to visit a casino to gamble. You can gamble with your phone, at the click of your phone, even within your bedroom. So it's become more rampant, more common, and even more devastating this way. So it is a crisis, and it's something that we need to provide the health services to cater to this sector of individuals, because it is a big problem. We say that for every one gambler, for every one person that gambles, that habit or that behavior adversely affects 6 other people around them. So these 6 other people could be co-workers, could be their employer who they have to steal from, could be their housemates, it could be their family members. But that illness or that disorder alone doesn't only affect the individual that plays, but it affects as many as 6 other people around them who also suffer because there's someone in their midst who is gambling. So it is a big problem.
Okay, in recent times, from research and data, apparently in the Nigerian terrain, it's becoming that problematic gambling is a problem and it's very prevalent in our society. But how often we don't talk about it because we choose to blame the people having this problem. So looking at the statistic, really, it was quite crazy. And from interacting with operators and people who gambled, we see that it's a major problem. Some have even attempted suicide, some have even dabbled into substance abuse. It has even messed up their mental health. So we look at it and say, this is a problem. Why is no one talking about it? You will see loud trumpets on drug abuse, you will hear loud trumpets of child trafficking and other social vices in the community or in the society, but really people don't talk about gambling issues because the person that is having the problem is already faulted as being irresponsible. So we look at the prevalence in Nigeria and we say, no, we need to do something, we need to address it. That was how we came on board in responsible gaming against addiction. So one of our major theme is take responsibly. Are we saying people shouldn't gamble? But it's very obvious that gambling, in the gambling industry, there's something that is associated with it, which is known as the mess, which is addiction. So we took this upon ourselves to create this awareness, work with people, not just the people having the problem, with the regulators, with the industry, and to see how we can provide solution together. That's why we are here.
Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Authority Law 2021 is to regulate all game of chance, raffles, casino, and other gaming activities in Lagos State. When it comes to game of chance, game of chance is when people put money and expect a result for benefit in outcome. So whoever wants to do or provide any of such services to the public have to get a permit or license from us, and the purpose is to protect the public or the consumers so that they will not be taken advantage of. Second, we are also to protect the operators from frivolous lawsuit. More importantly, we provide mediation between punters, consumers, and the operators. So our purpose is to control the industry, making sure that nobody is taken advantage of. And we also have to protect people from getting into addiction. So that's why we have a responsible gambling policy.
I used to work with a gaming regulator, and I saw the impact of gambling on a lot of persons, the harmful behavior that a number of them were displaying, and then the fact that some of them would run to the regulator when they were not paid by some gaming operators, and then the stories that they would tell, they signaled to me that truly some persons were put in harm's way by their gambling or that of their significant others, and that's why Gambler started.
Yeah, don't mean harm, like I said. If you look traditionally, if you look at the Nigerian history, gambling was really frowned upon. It's not something that is encouraged. It's something that is seen as selfish. It's something that is seen as being lazy. You're seen like a quick, get rich quick kind of thing. So religious faiths, they frown against it. You being a Christian, you being a Muslim, even you being a traditionalist, people frown against it. That is a no-no. But as time evolves with the legality and evolution of it, it was approved by the government. People people started doing it. So that moral thing is still there. So which comes with stigma. So that's one of the reasons why people will have this problem. They are being blamed, they are being faulted, and you'll be surprised. Even people who don't have problem, who have staked responsibly, who have had 1 or 2 wins. Yes, people will be happy for them, but at the end of the day, you see there's that subtle caution to say, don't do this thing. It's not an honorable thing. Gambling is not one thing that is applauded by the society. But if you look at it currently, one reason people will gamble, they will tell you because of the economical hardship. So it's like easing one problem or the other. But oftentimes, people who develop problems, they are seen as useless people because addiction will make them use money that is meant for what they're supposed to use to enhance their various aspects of their lives. Addiction will make them take away that money. Imagine someone who hadn't paid his or her house rent and they come together to put up this money for him to secure that house rent. You'll be surprised that he will pay the house rent. But the way he's reasoning when he has developed problem in gambling, he's reasoning that okay, if the house rent is 500,000, he has the 500,000. So if I stake this money, if I get it 2 million, take a 500 out of it, and I have 1.5 left. But unfortunately, it's not like that because the thing is designed that there are more losses than winning. At the end of the day, he loses. So how do you think the family is going to look at him? Are they going to embrace him? No, they are going to totally condemn him. Sometimes they even outcast him and say, no, you can't continue. We can't continue this with you. So people who have this problem, they are not spared at all. They are rejected, they are stigmatized, they are abused, they are labeled. So they just they just sunk into their own misery. Like, okay, this is who I am. Being in the West, like in the Yoruba region now, so you are playing gambling. So it's a thing of this person is not a responsible person.
This is the tale we dare to tell of lucky breaks and live in hell, of the gambler's grin and the empty purse, the angel's touch and the devil's curse.
Even because of this betting I'm playing, call issue with my family. There's a money that I collected. I want to pay for the school fees for my daughter. But that day I just put him in my pocket as I branch to bet Naija. Omo that day, that baby issue, but unexpected. He call issue with my family, even my wife, because that money I want to pay my daughter school fees. But I don't know, say that thing no get joy. Now I just use that play bet Naija. In fact, I play like 3 things. I play color, like I play virtual, then the rest I play booking. Even my wife, even at a day like this, we never said to am. My wife say if I no stay, in fact, if I no leave gamble, she don't go even marry me again. And like this, I did like this. We never even, but I want to ask people now, should make I leave at me or I should continue?
It's a highly stigmatized problem, you know. It's any addictive disorder is highly stigmatized because people around you, people discriminate what they do not understand. They stigmatize what they do not understand because people see harm that is being done by a disorder. For an addictive disorder, for us to say someone is addicted, you know, there's obviously a loss of control. They would have lost control in how they partake in the act. So if the person had decided to gamble once a week, they find themselves gambling 5 times a week, which is beyond their control, and they just can't seem to do anything about it. We find that individuals who have developed some level of harm as a result of their engaging in this act. So they've lost a loved one, or the marriage has broken down, or the relationship has broken down, or they've had to drop out of school, lost the job, whatever it is. You find that despite that harm that has occurred, the individual still continues to gamble or partake in the act. That shows there's a problem.
I even have an experience. This thing happened to me. It happened to somebody that was very close to me. Because, like I said, it can be very addictive if you don't know when to call it quits. Because it's a risk. It's a very risky game. The higher the risk, the bigger the reward. And there's no one that you can just go and hold on to because it's transient. Like if you can just lose your money in a twinkle of an eye. The worst part is now when you're playing virtual reality. Like I wanted to say the story of someone. So when I play sport bet, like football, supporting my favorite team, but I know somebody, a friend that plays the virtual reality, because there are also other options like the aviator, the horse race, the dog race, and the likes. So this particular guy, I don't know if he had actually won that virtual reality before, but that's what he plays. Whenever he's on his phone, he's playing virtual reality, and that one is you lose your money instantaneously or you win instantaneously, and the risk is greater, and the reward, like I said, is also greater. So he keeps playing this aviator. That aviator is just I think 30 seconds. That's when he gets the result. So he plays that a lot. He borrows money, and because he feels that he can double that money instantly. Likewise, he loses them instantly. I know a couple of times he's had police issues. He loans money to play the bets. Like it turned his life upside down.
But now as I'm talking to you now, I'm still trying it sometimes when I just less busy. Say, okay, let me just go and just try to play it. But see, Omo, you know they favor me. Oh. What I advise you to, Omo, just find something doing so that you make your money easily, and just find something better doing for your life. Omo, bets. Some people just they play am. Omo, no they favor them. And many people, like, especially this virtual, they don't bring come outside now. People lose a lot because it's something like you play in seconds and you lose in seconds. It's not favoring anybody. So please, this betting that we are playing, we are just trying our best. This way they are just making money with us. And sometimes we say we just street, sometimes we say we don't get something doing. Sometimes we struggle, sometimes you go even hawk. Sometimes you go even beg, say you want to go because you want to go and play bet.
They win because I believe. Not too bad they do for this life. Always believe. If you play gamble, always believe. Or you lose or you win. But if I carry faith, go. I dey see some faith. That day, as I did that this set call, it make me remember, but I just don't know cry. But as like this, my wife take get issue with my family with that because my wife no know say I dey pay my bill. But we happen in the time. E get wetin dey like this now, present wetin I dey feel wey be say my wife don leave me.
Currently, we're not paying a lot of attention to care for gambling addiction. I believe it's a disorder that has come to us unexpectedly. We have smartphones, the world has become a global village, we have apps, so the surge of apps, there's so much going on online, and with it has come this disorder as well, this addiction as well, and we've not empowered our healthcare industry to meet this need. There is a gap in the healthcare system, for individuals that have this problem. But I must say that any professional that is vast at managing addiction disorders, that has experience with addiction disorders, can definitely manage someone with a gambling problem, because the protocols for treatment are quite similar. So it's possible that if you had experience with drug and alcohol addiction, then you can manage someone with a gambling addiction. But I must say that the sector still needs to be empowered, with more support, financial support, more infrastructural support, more manpower support, to be able to help us tackle this menace.
You know, when you're addicted to something and you're used to something, you always talk about that thing every time. So no matter what they are talking about, even when like, okay, let's read or let's chase social thing, maybe some activities in school, they don't like, if there's any way, okay, let's make ourselves better. It's okay, Alpha, what was good for today? What's this for that? What's this for this? So these are the things that they commonly said, which I believe that they are addicted. So they are always restless with that. So once we close from school, they're on their way to bed. And before they get to their home, they will first go to the browsing place every single day. Sometimes some even starve themselves just for them to put in money, multiply it, and sometimes they end up losing it. But they're still open, like, okay, better tomorrow, sure. Sometimes they do get, I say, yes, money that I lose like 3 times, the money I lose, I got it once. So they doing, but then they're actually losing. If I'm very, very, if I know what I'm saying, they are losing. Definitely, they are losing. But they still focus on that part, that time that they win. So, for example, now you have lose like 500 naira, 1,000 naira, like countless times. But the first time you want, they'll say 5,000, 10,000 naira once, you feel like, yeah, I already recovered all the money back.
Also, when you see that despite the losses being incurred, the individual still keeps increasing the amount of money they're spending, they keep going back despite the frequent losses, that also shows you that there's a loss of control. So once there is a loss of control, individuals looking around from the outside and watching the individual do not understand it. It looks scary, because how do you continue to partake in something that seems to be harming you? You know, and that's where stigma comes in. You know, if you can't help yourself, then we don't want to be a part of it. But I must say that as a healthcare professional, there is help, there is hope. You know, there's hope for these individuals. It's important that we point them in the right direction.
I think the down part of it is that it is easily accessible. Like, there are a lot of bets. There are a lot of bet companies now. I don't want to even limit it to sport bet, because there are a lot of bets, whatever apps now and applications that are easily accessible to everyone. And the way they advertise these things, you get, like, because they're actually making profit, a lot of profit on it. I can start watching a football match on my phone. You know, all these streaming app platforms and all of that. You can be watching a football match, and this adverts comes on, stakes also this, so one is bet. Okay, I'm not even supposed to name companies. You do this, you do that. So you just, they're like, they're everywhere. They're all up in our faces. Even if you don't want to bet, you know, not like they're forcing you, but I think there should be some serious clamp down on them. Like, it should not be everywhere. Like, do you get it? It's everywhere now. It's all over the place. I think by doing that, they can actually curb some of that. And also, those that are staking, we on the receiving end that are staking our money, there should be some strict policies in order to join those. They are not even verifying if you're over 18. They just ask you, are you 18 and older? Just like you do in the porn site and all of that. No strict whatever. There should be some strict policies that perhaps you, for example, you can just upload your ID or something, or your national passport or something, so that they can confirm that you have that mental capacity to stop where you need to stop. So those are some few points or policies that we can use to curb the menace.
And it's important that we regulate these pop-ups on social media. These adverts pop up all the time on social media. It's important that they are also regulated, because we do not want to lose our youth. We say that the young people are the future. If we do not guide them, we do not regulate the harm that comes their way, we're bargaining the future of this country. You know, we're bargaining our future, the hope of this country, and just letting it fall down a rabbit hole. So it's important that we guard our young ones. It's important that we enforce these regulations. It's also important that gambling houses stick to the regulations.
Well, yes, for the association, we've had breakfast sessions with our operators where we discussed on responsible gaming and also the harm and prevention of problem gambling. We didn't just stop at the discussions. We also encouraged our operators to embed these self-execution tools on their platform where players can actually access easily, and then also where needed they also refer to therapy to the organizations we already have.
We have to understand that gambling or gaming, whichever way it's called, it has been around for a long time in every society. In our society here, what we call Opmo, they have been using that to do gambling locally, and so also other products. The digital infrastructure just expanded it. Now we are created to control and to control that balance you just measure. So one of the things we have put in place is that responsible gambling policy for operators. You cannot advertise your product and deliberately target underage people. And if you have to advertise in public, you must indicate that 18 plus only. When people are downloading your product from the internet, they have to do KYC. So very strict penalty against that. And we also do advocacy. Because we can't stop it. And it's there. You must as well control it. In any society where it is not controlled, it's very, very bad. And that's why we exist.
It's a collaborative measure, because it's not just going to be only the operator. We also have the regulators part, who provide the guidelines. So when these guidelines are provided, we operators also work towards it. But don't forget the fact that we also want to self-regulate. Responsible gaming, it's actually a thing we all can do together. From the operator side, we actually do our best to put these safe exclusion measures in place, and also refer to organizations who help these players with therapy. From the regulator side, there are guidelines, there are regulations which are put in place for operators to abide to. For also the players, we also advise not to chase losses, because I think we always remove that part of it, that most times these players always want to chase their losses. They see the entertainment in gaming as a means of making wealth, but we should look at it as an entertainment, not a means of making wealth, and also to stop chasing their losses and gamble responsibly.
I can just walk in because they walk in confidently and they do what they want to do. Though they do lie, because some they will ask you it's 18 plus, something like that, you say it's 18 plus, but once they get there, but because they look a kind of huge or something like this, so it's very easy for them to say I want to bet. So it's not the first time they are going there. So maybe the first time that was when they're going to face a little restriction, but from then they just going walking very easy. Very easy. I do escort some into it, but I don't have money to bet, so I'll just be watching there. I'll just be watching there. Some, if they win, they buy something. I might feel among, they will get goal. So it was very easy to say that. Yeah. Then I didn't play. I don't have money then. I can't play. I didn't play. But recently, not recently, like a couple of years back, yeah. When I was in school in the hostel, that was high institution. So we as like roommates, we always see code on social media or something like that. So there are times I do pick and then gamble. But since I volunteered for Gamble Aware, yeah, actually I stopped totally, because I've seen my period of working with them or being with them. I've seen things that are beyond what I can say, like when seeing elders, elderly person crying, some attempt of suicide. So I have to stop. I say there's no way, because me, I also lose. So I also see there's no benefit here. So instead of that, let me shift my mind to something more productive. And so I was not addicted, but I gambled once, but I stopped a long run when I saw the damage it's causing. So I saw the damage causing and I stopped. So I don't have anything in connection with gambling, or I don't gamble again. I lose interest totally.
Hello, I'm Ismail from Idiaraba. Yeah, I play Premier Lotto, Baba Ijebu Lotto, and there are different type of Lotto that I used to play, not only Premier Lotto, Baba Ijebu. There's some Lotto like Golden Chance and Derby Lotto. All of them are lottery, but the one that I prefer first is Baba Ijebu, because he used to favor me at times. But I didn't think that it favors some people, but for me, it favored me, because I used to win it at any time that I play it. There's some times that they didn't used to favor, but for me, it used to favor me. I didn't used to lose. Even though if I lose for 2 days, the third day I will recover all my money and I will gain for it. That's for me.
A lot of people that are unemployed and also within the lower socioeconomic brackets are affected. And those that are also underpaid as well, you know, and trying to survive the economy or trying to make ends meet would, you know, consider gambling as a vice or as a vocation to support their earnings. So that's what we see a lot of times. So a lot of young people, and when we see older people that are involved, you find that they had started during their youthful years, and then it's just followed them across their lifespan. So it's one of those disorders that just follows an individual across their lifespan and causes a lot of damage over the years.
There are some people that they are so resilient to say, okay, if they've decided to say, okay, I'm going to stake 1,000 naira in gaming, and once they stake that 1,000, they are disciplined. They don't exceed that 1,000. Some people are that resilient, some people are that determined and that disciplined, some are not. We do not say those persons are weak. No, rather what we'll do is that we'll give them the education, that psycho-education, to say, if you don't control your gambling behavior, if you don't stake responsibly, it can become an addiction. And so interfacing with people who have problem gambling, we don't just look at the surface, we look at other comorbidities. So what are the underlying factors? So why is this person gambling? We've worked with women that you think that they're just gambling for fun. No, they're not gambling for fun. They're using it to cope. Sometimes these women have inner issues, underlying issues that is way disturbing them. I've seen someone that is a carer for an elderly person, and it's toiling. So that period when she gambles, that's one time she gets that relief. So with such persons, what we do, we introduce what they call healthy coping skills, because you see that she's using this compulsive gambling to cope because there's a problem somewhere. So we look at healthy substitution. So how do we replace this so this person doesn't have problem?
I would say that it was my first year in 2021 when we started this work. Our first ever client is a medical doctor.
Wow.
And I've not forgotten it because, you know, the expectation is that people within the healthcare space, they shouldn't be engaged in this and all of that. But after going through the psychometrics test and all of that, we realized that this person had ticked at least 9 out of 10 questions to say this person qualifies to be called a problematic gambler. You know, so the story was quite touching to me. And then I also got to be informed by the team managing the treatment aspect that we had someone who was using gambling as a coping mechanism. So she had a comorbidity of another mental health issue, right? And then she was using gambling as a coping mechanism. So for her, it wasn't about the economic circumstance. It was the fact that she needed to gamble to feel good, right?
Apart from the fact that each operator have on their platform the self-exclusion tools, recently the Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Authority also launched a safe play platform. That platform is actually going to work for all licensed operators in Lagos State. Once a player self-excludes on A's platform, it goes round to all operators' platforms, which is actually a very good initiative brought by the Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Authority. And operators are also collaborating. We are working together with the Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Authority to ensure that this platform has the global standard, not just what's has been launched, but we're also we're providing feedback on things that needs to be added on that platform. And mind you, that platform will also help the players when it comes to requesting for help. That's reaching out to an organization. That platform also carries that tool in it. So there's a self-exclusion tool, there's a self-assessment tool, and also help rendered from the platform. So yes, we are working together. It's not working in silos. We're collaborating together. The regulator has brought up something. The operator even if we have these tools on our platform, now we have something that is unified. We can all plug into one system. And once I, as a player, let me use myself as an example. Once I, as a player, exclude on A's platform, it goes round to other platforms.
If I play gamble and win, the day they won't expect, they're only happy. They are managed. But he said, you know, my miracle. Today, I made 5,000. I tell them, say, I don't get money. Say, na 5,000 I get. I push 4,000. I use 1,000 and push. If God bless me, I use the money make. I bless them any amount I like. Then I enjoy with my friends.
In the high-stakes world of online betting, not every story ends in heartbreak. While countless players chase wins that never come, a few have managed to crack the code and flip the script entirely. One of the biggest names on the scene, a Twitter personality known as Ekiti Pikin, is not just placing bets, he's building a brand. In 2022, he pulled off one of the most talked about wins in Nigerian betting history, 36 million naira from a series of basketball bets on 1xBet. People thought it was pure luck until he did it again and again. He's turned betting into a strategy and critics into followers. Then there's Lucky Boy. The name says it all. With just 800 naira, he hit a 38 million naira jackpot. One bet, life changed, just like that. Stories like his go viral overnight, lighting up social media, drawing in new hopefuls by the thousands. But here's the catch. Not everyone gets a happy ending. For every viral winner, there are countless silent losses. Some people get pulled in too deep, chasing wins that never come. Others keep it light, tossing in a few naira here and there just for the thrill of it. It's a world of risk, reward, and real consequences, where strategy meets chance, and a single tap could change everything, or nothing at all.
Like I said, at the beginning of this, I said, if not more than 90% of young adults are into this. You see women staking odds these days. Lots. If you worry that you watch football, you say no, somebody gave me odds because they based on false. So the people will not advertise to you that they lost such amount of money. They are good to keeping that within themselves. You just see people being cranky. But when they win, they might not even tell you when they won. You get, because they don't want to share. They don't want to share that profit with you. But you start hearing stories that I won 30,000 naira. I want 100k with 100 naira. So day. So some are even false. So these are even word of mouth advertising. When you hear that as a Nigerian in this economy, you want to double your money. You want to stake your odds, and you know. And if you lose your money, you cannot go and meet the person that said he wants some amount or this and that. So many false prophets like that. There are even some people now on different platforms, X, TikTok and Live, Facebook. They call themselves sure odds. They start using that to make money from you again. They'll give you some fake odds. They'll say there's VIP, you should pay certain amount. There's no game that is sure. That's why it is it's a betting app. There's no sure odds. I won't be surprised that these are influencers for these sporting for these bet companies, that they'll put people. They might just give them their money, their influencer fee, their rate card. They pay them, and they pay them like they won a bet. Do you get all this? It's just my conspiracy theory that I feel that these people might actually be working for them, because I've actually joined Sarah. They'll tell you to pay 10,000 or 20,000. That there are some sure games. That's for football. That's why I do that. There are some sure games. At the end of the day, when you play it, they lose, and you'll be so shocked that you preach heaven and earth for me, that you were so sure that I was going to win this and that. I think there are so many policies like that. Some people actually do win. They change lives, but it's 1 in 100.
So generally, as a country, our leaders have a big role to play in this industry. It's important that the industry is also taxed. Gambling, founders and owners of gambling houses should be taxed, and that tax should be put to good use. In other industries, we have sin taxes, we have sugar taxes, which we then put into good use. It's also important that within the gambling industry, these organizations are taxed, and then these taxes are directed at specific sectors. So if we say for every tax we generate from the gambling industry, we put it into the health sector. That way, when we build hospitals or we empower hospitals with equipment, we put disclaimers there, let people know that the proceeds of this or this equipment was bought from proceeds of taxation of the gambling industry. Let's see that money being put to good use. Not that we tax and then nobody sees where the money goes to. Taxing, we put it to good use, and we even add that caveat there, let people know that this tax was generated from the gambling industry and it's been being put to good use. Very, very important.
In any society where it is not controlled, it's very, very bad, and that's why we exist. So when you now see that even the revenue we collect from gaming operators, deliberately the law was created that it should not go into government wallet. We have a distribution trust fund that is dedicated to infrastructure, environment, education, social, and health for the public. For example, we have close to 30 schools. We have built and renovated about 30 schools in the last 4 years. We have constructed at least 3 fire stations for community that do not have fire stations. We have selectively sponsor kidney transplants, and none of those must be a family member of any employee of this agency. We have done all of those. We have built primary health care centers in community that do not have one. There's a community outside Ikorodu, it's called Luasa. For long, before 2 years ago, they do not have secondary school. We build a brand new secondary school for them. So those are the things we do with the money. It got nothing to do with our government, government expenditure. We use the money for intervention, for drug addiction, for alcohol addiction, all those things. Those are the kind of things we do.
So winning the battle against gambling addiction, it has to be like where the industry, the regulators and the operators and people on our side, I mean we CSOs, foundation, tackling gambling problem, where we take gambling disorder into consideration, like the profit from the industry, where a certain amount is being staked as trust fund for people who might likely develop addiction. So in this coffer, they can use the money to treat them, and it's just not ending there. Also carry out researches on new trends and to see how they can curb it, focusing on underage gambling, zero tolerance to underage gambling, and other innovative or innovations that can tackle this problem. So those who are having problem gambling are not at the mercy of society or community. So if they, whatever states that they found themselves, be it in Oyo, be it in Abuja, or be it in Osun or Port Harcourt, so that state from their coffers, because the state controls the lottery and gaming process. So there's that amount they can walk into an agency, they can get treated, and the state is responsible for it. And they continue to channel that message of stake responsibly, so people do not develop problem gambling.
Very interesting. So I believe that there's only so much that one organization can achieve. Nigeria is a very big country. And then there are blind spots. There are things that we may not be able to. In fact, what we've realized is that we will not be able to attend to all the people who are calling us for help. So it's always important to collaborate, work together. So, I mean, if you have clinical psychologists, mental health counselors who are very much qualified, it works that we only say, let's build a framework for referral programs, such that people who are calling gambler don't have to wait on a line, before they get help.
It is the treatment or the solution to the problem is backed by science. And since it is backed by science, we have medications, we have therapy, we have different methods in which we're able to help these individuals live meaningful lives.
That's why we exist. Every day we must monitor, do spot check on schedule visit, We also, some of our, we have a monitoring and enforcement department. And what they do, they will go out there, they will do like a mystery shopper. So if the operators do not ask for their ID card, that means they have violated the responsible gambling policy. And we also monitor whether children are going to shops or they're going here during school hours. You know, we do all sorts. But more importantly, online, we enforce, we have our terms and conditions, and we have a sort of agreement with our operators that if you violate, if you don't ask for KYC, I mean, that's know your customer. If you don't ask from your customers, you have violated your license, terms and conditions, and we can revoke or fine. We have fined the company up to 100 million naira before because of this kind of problem.
So come, take a seat and look past the glitz, beyond the bells and jackpot hits. This is the truth, raw and unplanned. The world of gambling, bright, brutal, and base. Stories of gloom include Samuel Adegoke, who resorted to suicide after using his school fees to place a bet and lost everything. Another story is that of Chukwuma Ono, who borrowed 1.2 million naira from his friends and combined it with 1.3 million naira of his own to place a 2.5 million naira bet. He also committed suicide after he left a suicide note on his WhatsApp status. Another case was that of a young man identified as Adigbite, who used 150,000 naira given to him by his boss to pay his colleagues to play a sports bet and lost everything. Rather than face the loss, he took his life. Samuel, Chukwuma, Adigbite, names that now echo only in memory. They were sons, daughters, friends, each one a life lost too soon to the devastating grip of gambling addiction. These are not isolated tragedies. These are the consequences of silence, inaction, and a system that profits from despair. We fail them, not because we didn't care, but because we didn't do enough. We judge them, leaving them to their addictions, and telling ourselves it's their problem to deal with. As a society, we must ask ourselves, how many more? This is why Responsible Gaming Against Addiction Foundation was born. To honor their memory, to fight for those still trapped, to raise awareness, offer support, and demand responsible practices across Africa. If you know anyone who has a gambling addiction, they can reach out via our helpline 0800 00 GET HELP 0800 004 384357 or our website www.responsiblegaming.africa. If you want to partner with us to reach more people struggling with this addiction, partner with us www.responsiblegaming.africa/partner or call our helpline 0800 00 GET HELP 0800 004 384357. Join us in supporting persons living with gambling addiction. To contribute to helping us win the fight against gambling addiction, scan our QR code or email donate@responsiblegaming.africa.
Brother man, what is up? Everywhere rough for your boy, shake it. Many things just this song. I don't even know where to start, shake it. Brother man, let it come. I swear we need to call, yeah. From how is war. I day on my way, make we talk, yeah. Brother, I won't stop, man. Thanks for showing up, I swear I need ya. My dad did house, had a seizure. Small cash, had to save, they want season. Want to school fees, then they restore. They never pay me salary for 3 months. And you know everything costs. I never know where to start from. Brother man, what is up? Everywhere rough for your boy, shake, yeah. Many things just this song. Yeah. I don't even know where to start, shake, yeah. Brother man, that he come.